All right, this is I don't know if we can read that one. It's a H bridge motor drivers. It usually comes with the name of L298N. So you can use it to control ATC motors like this one I have here. It's a little one. It can supply up to 3 volt. Man, yes, tiny one. So essentially with this little driver you can control like two motors. It's a dual channel, so you can control motor one and then motor two. You just need to hook up those two pins and right here just will be like a motor one, and then you can supply another motor here. It's a little IC. You can see here we have some little voltage converter inside. I don't know if we can see that. It's a little voltage converter. It's gonna take the voltage you supply to and then kind of like it's a linear voltage regulators. So let's say you supplied like a 12 volt, it kind of output like a 5 volts. Those are capacitors, and this is the little chip. I mean the component that does the motor driving stuff, and a couple resistor around there. Alright, I'm not gonna go in a great detail on every component on this chip, but let's see. Alright, this is like I said before, this is control the DC motor 1 and this control the DC motor 2. And here those are like how you supply the chip itself, the IC, like enable the circuit. And then back here you can see we have 12 volt here. We have the 12 volt and then the ground and then the 5 volt. This is actually like the output. Let's say you hook up like a 12 volt battery around here and then the ground too. So this will output like a 5 volts. Otherwise, if you're not like using the battery and then you're using like your Arduino, I don't know if I have one here. Let's say you hook up your Arduino, this one, and then you can just put in the 5 volt pin right here, so you can just like supply voltage to the IC. Yeah. So if you supply like I said, it's a dual core, so you can control motor one or motor two DC motors, and it can take up to like 35 volt, like from 5 volt to 35. So you have like a 5 volt to 35. That's the maximum. If you go a little bit above that, then I'm sorry, you're going to just break the whole circuit, and the whole thing will be useful as a break. So yeah, you don't want to do that. So you got to stay in between 5 and 35 volts. All right. So let's go ahead and then hook up the one of these and see how does it work. I mean, I'm talking right now, it's just a little bit boring. Also, we have the enable pin. So you can see, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, we have N1, input 1, input 2, input 3, 4. The first one, those kind of they enable like the motor to move in which direction. So for the 1 and 2, those are for the first one, like motor 1. Those will connect like going forward and backward, like a direction going forward or backward. Okay, this one will be for the second motor still. Okay, first motor and then second motors. All right, and this one is for control of the speed. So we can take this out and see essentially the pins. All right, here are the pin. This is control for the speed. You can take this one out, but I'm not gonna do it. Let me put it back. All right, let me put this one back in there. All right, let's see. There we go. So I'm gonna hook up some DC motor here, and then we're just gonna control with this one. I'm not gonna use the Arduino for now. Maybe in another section. All right. So I have one here already hooked up to my voltage regulator here. So here I'm supplying already like a 4 volt. Let me crank it up to like a 6. All right, let's go to 6 volt, maybe 7. 7. Okay, 7 is perfect. And then here I have the DC motor, and this is already like a gearbox with a little tire in here. I can just take this out, but just so we can see what's going on. All right. And like I said, you can just hook up the one here. That's the first motors. I hook it up to this one. And then I need to supply the power to this one. So you can see here we have the 12 volt here. That's what I'm going to supply the power here. I can go up to like 5 volt, still fine, 35 volt. But for caution, I would not recommend to go like a 235. You're going to heat up too fast, and that's not good. Maybe stay around like a 12 volt as indicated in there. Okay. So like so we're going there 12 volt right there, and then we have the ground 12 volt and then ground, and then we have 5 volt output. So this is going to output like a 5 volt right here. All right. Okay, if we can see that. Okay, we have the 5 volt right there. All right, just like that. So here we have a 5 volt. Let's say it's the Arduino output. You know, the Arduino DigiPen kind of output like a 5 volt, right? So we have this one, 5 volt here. So if I try to connect this 5 volt to the one of this enable pin, like pin 1 and 1, you're gonna move the motors. So let's try to do that. All right, there we go. Now it's moving. If I touch the other one, it's gonna move in the other direction. I don't know if we can see that. All right, right now it's moving a little bit fast, so you won't notice that. So what I can do, let me just kind of stick something on top of it so you can see what's going on under the hood. All right. Now let me crank the volume up. No, let's go down so you can see essentially. I'm right now at 2 volt. I don't know if we're gonna make it. If not, we're gonna increase it, right? Nope. I should add a little bit more. All right, maybe a little more. All right, now it's moving. So you can see it's moving one direction here. Now let's change the position, right? And then you can see it went backward. Look at that, forward and then backward. So it kind of change every time I change the position of the N1, N2, N1, N2. All right. So you can see here, this is for the motor one, or the one, and then the two. Just for the one, those two are for this one, and those two are for this one. All right. When I click on here, go forward, and this one go backward. I mean, it depends on how you attach those two, but it doesn't matter. Just know that it just go in different direction every time I kind of connect it. Those are for the speed. This one, I'm gonna need to use the other window to kind of control the speed for that. And yeah, that's all I have for this one. Let me just crank up the volume a little bit, the voltage to like a 12 volts, and see what do we get. Okay. All right, I think we're right now at 12 volts. And then let's stop. See, it's move quite fast. Let's go the other way, and yeah, just like that. This is pretty cool. All right. Okay. Maybe we can move it. You know what? We can move it here and then control it with this one too. Like let's say I have a motor that I hook up to this one, and then this one will kind of control this one. But you know what? This is a little bit boring, isn't it? Next time we'll do a more sophisticated stuff.